is Chuck Hughes. I'm from Montreal, Canada. I have 2 restaurants in Montreal, and I'm also known here in Kuala Lumpur for my show called Chuck's Day Off that plays on AFC. Or hopefully I'm known for that show. So if I'm not known, start watching. Basically, really, I think the reason why I became a chef and the reason why I started cooking was a love of food. Basically the first and foremost is really love eating, and I loved food. And when I was growing up, my mom used to cook a lot, and I used to get involved with my mom in the kitchen, and she used to really, she had a dream for me to become a chef, so she would always incorporate me into the cooking, washing dishes, whatever it was, and she used to always really tell me like, okay, so a chef, works very fast, very clean, and she used to teach me all these things. And basically I never really thought I would become a chef. For me, I studied in communications, I studied marketing, and that was really what I thought I was going to do with my life. But I would always work in restaurants on the weekends. So one day, I decided, I'm so passionate about food, yet I'm studying marketing, maybe I should study food. And that's when it kind of happened. I went to cooking school, and that was it. I was addicted. The second I started cooking school, I was hooked. I loved cooking. I would say definitely my mom was the one who actually knew about it. She had a feeling. Moms, they know everything. The mom instinct, So I think she had a feeling, and she really pushed me towards that direction. But ultimately, when I started working in restaurants and kitchens, I just loved it so much that it was kind of a natural fit. Growing up in high school, I wasn't a bad student, but I wasn't interested. It's not something that I loved. And then when I went to cooking school, it took me like 1 minute, and I was just hooked. And I realized finally I'm somewhere where I belong. So, I'm lucky. My career has really changed a lot in the last 5 years with TV and everything else. But really, my real love is chopping carrots. Cooking. Yeah. My culinary philosophy, I think the philosophy is always going to be the same. It's always about simple, fresh, creative, but not too much. I try to not change the ingredients too much. When you look at, I use the example of a cucumber and a tomato. Like when you really look at those, you see the work that Mother Nature's already done. It's beautiful, So really, I'm just a vehicle. I want to put a couple little touches on it, but really, I don't want to play with it too much. So my philosophy is still pretty much the same. It's pretty much, as I travel, I realize and the most authentic and the best food is always very simple and very local and very real. It's less fancy and more, street food, and all that stuff is what I love the most. So I think my philosophy has always been the same. And in terms of my cooking style, it's definitely changed a lot. In the past almost 20 years now. 20 years. Anyways, maybe more like 17. But yeah, it's definitely changed a lot. For me, I started off with, coming from Canada where it's cold most of the time, a lot of heavy food, sauces and really a lot of braised meats and stuff like that. And now, as I grow older, you grow older, you're a little bit more self-conscious about what you put in your body. So I eat a lot more raw, a lot more fresh. I've always eaten a lot of seafood and a lot of fish. So, but if anything, my style has changed a little bit. I'm a little bit more on the raw side of things now. Well, the ultimate goal, and for me was opening. My ultimate goal was opening my 40-seat restaurant. I really didn't have many more dreams beyond that. For me, when I started cooking, I wanted to open my restaurant. And I opened a small 40-seat restaurant in Old Montreal, which is a historical part of the city. It's about 400 years old. And that was my dream. Beyond that, I never really thought any of this would be possible. So if I have one thing to say is, follow your dreams big time, and even think bigger than you would almost think normally, because for me, I never thought I would come here because of food, I never thought that food would bring me so far. So it's really been something that's, for me, has been really, really life-changing and amazing. Well, I think it's all about being passionate. I think really that's the most important thing is, you got to wake up every morning and you got to be really 100% committed to cooking. You know what I mean? It's long hours. There's not much money involved, so you really need to love it. And I think a lot of the students and everybody that I've met here are so passionate and love cooking so much. And I think that's really what's most important, because as you go along, you're gonna learn. I'm no different than anybody else. Why am I doing all this? I'm not special. I've got two hands like everybody else, and it's all about really being passionate and wanting it. So if you work hard at something and you're perseverant and you keep on just pushing, great things are gonna happen. So I would say follow your dreams, be passionate, and everything else is gonna fall into place. My musical influence, that's a good one. I really listen to, and I talked a bit about it earlier, like I really listen to everything. From hard rock to heavy metal to hip hop. The only thing I don't listen to is classical, because it makes me too nervous. Like, I'm like, what's going on, So that's probably the only thing I don't listen to, but I love everything, like Led Zeppelin, Biggie Smalls, you name it, man. I'm really pretty much all over the board, and I think, it's a little bit how cooking is, it's a little bit of everything, and it's really a melting pot. So in terms of music, if you look at my iPod, there's no real, it's like, it goes a little bit everywhere, but that's what I love. That's what I really, I don't have any Malay music though. This is what I need to get. Any good bands?
Yeah.
Malaysian bands, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that. Well, without my fans here in Malaysia, I wouldn't be here. So thank you so much for watching. It's a great honor. And to me, a small guy from a small town in Canada, to be able to travel the world and come all the way to beautiful Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur has been a unique and probably one of the best experiences of my life. And if I had anything to say to you, you've got to realize how awesome it is here and how beautiful your country is. And there's just so much food and so much culture that I'm a little bit jealous. So maybe I'm gonna move here. Next time you might see me, Chuck's Day Off, Kuala Lumpur.